If you struggle with distance control and want to make those three putts a thing of the past, these could be the putters for you. So I've set some balls up 34 feet from the pin, which, believe it or not, is the distance where PGA Tour players start to become more likely to three-putt than to hold their putt. I can't even get my head around that statistic. Look at the distance, like it doesn't even look like the pin is far away. But what that shows us is that even the best players in the world don't strike the golf ball consistently when it comes to putting. And actually, the biggest way you can improve your putting is by taking out those three putts. Now, Odyssey have taken a look at these stats and fed this back into their new putters. And obviously, it's all about that AI.
My father tried to teach me human emotions.
Now, the biggest thing here is in the new club face design. And you look at the inside and think, what do you mean? But then you look in the back. I think this is really cool. Odyssey have included this little window in the back of here so you can actually see what this new technology is. So the back of the club face is now textures, and this is all about ball speed. So if you think about if you hit one of those putts that's not quite off centre, it typically seems to end up short. These club faces are now textured, a bit like we see in some of their irons and their drivers, and it means you're going to get optimal ball speed no matter where you strike it on the face. So that's really going to give you more consistency in terms of ball speed and getting the ball nearer the hole. Now, Odyssey are claiming this could improve your pace by 21%. So think about that, like 1 in 4 times you three-putting, that would basically stop. That could definitely save you a lot of shots next season. So let's see if it's all talk or not. Now, for people who are panicking and think, oh no, I really like the white hot insert, is that going to affect that? Do not worry, it is still in this club face. The kind of textured aluminium on the back has been integrated into that urethane, so you still get that nice feel. Now, it's worth mentioning, I'm currently testing the Ai-One putter. There are 2 ranges that Odyssey have brought out. This is the Ai-One range, and it's also the One model. This stands out by kind of the blue colouring on the grip, the blue colouring on the club face, and that white insert in the face. There are 2 offerings here, so if you're more of a milled person, you could go into the Ai-One milled. Look how good this looks. This champagne face, what we're calling it. I'd say it's gold, but I'm not going to be picky. I love the blue finish on both of these. I think it just looks really classic. But we've got 2 options here, which is really interesting. So you've got the same tech in both in terms of that forgiveness in the face. You can't see it in the back of this one, but it is still in there. But you've got that milled option if you want it. Obviously, it's a bit of a bigger price point, but you've got 2 different options to look at there. We'll hit these in a minute. Ooh. Now, the eagle-eyed watchers might have noticed we don't have a 2-tone stroke lab shaft anymore, but this is still stroke lab technology. It's just new and upgraded. You can see we've got this 90-gram steel shaft in here, and this is actually counterbalanced in the butt end of the club to give you that kind of stroke lab forgiveness and feel. But we've got new materials this year, so no longer that graphite at the bottom. I mean, the pace was good, but I really blocked the hell out of it. Now, also what I like about these models is you can really dial in the feel. We've got these adjustable weights on the sole, and these go from 5 grams up to 20 in 5-gram increments. So you can really dial in how you like it to feel, if you want it to feel heavier, lighter, which is obviously a really good thing to do if you go and have a custom fit. Now, what I love about Odyssey is they always have so many different offerings available. So there's loads of different club heads you can get. So in the Ai-One range, I'll put up here which models are going to be available. This is going to be in 2 drops. So in November, we're going to get the initial launch, which these models are in, plus a few others. And then in February, we're going to get even more head options. So actually, there's so many options available. I've got this mallet here and a little John Rahm Rossi that I'm going to try next. There's no window on the back of this one, but it is in the sole, which is pretty cool. You see that little tech there. I just like the fact you can see the technology. I don't know, it makes it feel more real. Is that weird? Tell me in the comments if that's a bit weird. Now, I don't usually go for a small slant neck. I actually just feel like this sits really nice. Rahm obviously uses one with no lines, which is crazy. Ooh. So as well as having the different head options, you can obviously get loads of different necks. They've got cramped necks, a short slant like this, and also double bends. Worth trying them out. They're going to suit all different sizes of strokes and also like your release pattern. So it's definitely worth trying a few and seeing which you start online the best. You can get different hosels throughout the range, but you can also get different hosels in different models. I really like the fact they've kept that insert feel. but added some extra tech. Oh, boxed. So I feel like you've got the benefit of like that classic feel, but then that modern tech, which like really is the best of both worlds. I have to say my speed control's been pretty consistent so far, which if you've watched my vlogs this year, you know it's very, very rare. Oh, I've absolutely mashed. Fleet. It's not good news when you've hit someone else's ball and it's still got miles past, is it? No, I actually really like the contrast of the fact the lines are so bright white, but then that navy finish. And actually the club face is so white as well, it almost gives you that like extra alignment here, like parallel to the target, which I quite like. Some people in the office have said they feel like it sits a bit open because it's so bright white, but I don't mind it. Seems to work. That was no line on the ball as well. Now, as much as I love the look of the Ai-One range, this milled range is just like, whoa. It's so good. I just love the blue and gold colouring. I think Callaway have just nailed it with this. Now, this shares a lot of tech with the Ai-One range, hence like pulling through of that name. But this obviously is all milled, given the name. So we've got a milled face and also a milled club head. So it just overall has a bit more of a premium look. I mean, you can see that from the price tag too. But oh, it just looks so good. It just looks so good. I've gone for a classic 7 first because I'm just excited about this. I'd say you can notice a slight difference in feel between the two. This definitely doesn't feel quite as soft. You obviously not got the urethane in this club face. It's not got kind of that white hot feel, but it's not a bad feeling. You can just tell there's a slight little difference. I think the biggest problem with this range is there's so many models that I would use, which doesn't normally happen. Normally you're quite picky. You get through and there's like 1 or 2. I would use all 4 of these. Ooh, this blade's naughty. The angles are just so good. I do love a crank neck hosel as well. Shame it's a 34-inch, so I was sneaking in my golf bag. I need a little bit shorter. And I think you should probably get fit and measured for this shaft, because if you notice, I don't think it's something you can cut down. See how it like tapers, and it's obviously counterbalanced in this end. So you probably would mess up the weighting. So if you're thinking of these, I'd be careful about making sure you get the right length. Look at this 8. I just think it looks so good with that long line down the middle for alignment. It just feels like you can't really point it in the wrong place. Get it. Oh, that was cruel, it was in the bag until then. Every shape just looks so good. Now there are going to be 8 models in this milled offering. All of them are launching in November. A real mixture actually of blades through to mallets and loads of different shapes. Definitely some classic ones that we see in there like the 7. But also some of the more funkier ones like that 8. These definitely sound a little lower pitched. It's quite interesting because I'd never really got the concept behind milled faces until I went and played on some quick greens in America. And they're basically the only thing you could stop anywhere near the hole. So if you're someone who's on fast greens a lot, might be worth looking into these. Definitely a bit easier to control when the greens get moving in summer. Now, obviously without taking these out on the course for a long time and collecting some stats, I can't quite quantify how much less you're going to 3-putt. But the early testing signs are really good. Now, this tech is obviously come from the Paradigm, which we've seen do really well on tour and in club golfers' bags this year. So it's definitely something that's got a proven record of delivering performance. And Jon Rahm has already had this in his bag on tour, and it's not even out yet. If it's good enough for Jon Rahm, it's probably good enough for us. Rossi.